Hello all, hello everyone. I am Miss Amrita Zadhav, your physics teacher, and I am welcoming you all to the part 5 of the series of chapter Superposition of Waves. Okay, so as you all know that we have covered 4 parts of the same series, and in which we have studied more about the waves. That means we have studied about the progressive wave, then we have studied about stationary waves. So these all concepts we have already covered in last 4 parts, right? Okay, so right now we are moving towards part 5, in which we are going to deal with some more interesting facts which are there for the vibrations. Okay, so what is there inside today's part? So we are going to quickly move towards the next slide, in which we are going to revise what we have done in the previous lecture, and then we will move forward to see what is there for you for today's lecture. Okay, so let's quickly move towards the revision section. Here you can see we have studied in the previous, that is in part 4, we have seen that stationary waves, then equation of stationary waves we have derived that, then nodes and antinodes, that the new concept which were you all have seen in previous lecture. And the last point that we have discussed was properties of stationary waves, and I have given you one kind of homework in which I had told you that you are going to compare the progressive waves and stationary waves. Okay, so what was there in stationary waves? So stationary waves was nothing but the waves which are standing at one point. Okay, so these are also known as standing waves. So even we have derived the equation for the same. And what was nodes and antinodes? While we are considering any kind of wave, we should consider wavelength, frequency, amplitude, right? So in case when amplitude is minimum, that means when it is 0, we consider that term as nodes, and when the amplitude is maximum, that means when it is either plus or minus twice of small a, it is known as antinodes. So by using these conditions we have derived the displacements too, and even we derived the general formulas of nodes and antinodes. After doing nodes and antinodes, we have seen some properties of stationary waves. I already told you that while we are studying any kind of properties, we have to remind definition of that term first. So you can just write the definition which will be the first property of stationary waves, then you can split the definition which will be the second property, and the third property which you have seen in stationary waves was nodes and antinodes. When amplitude is minimum, it is known as nodes, and when amplitude is maximum, it is known as antinodes. The distance between two successive nodes is lambda by 2. The distance between two successive antinode is lambda by 2, but when we consider the distance between two or one node and one antinode, that is nothing but lambda by 4. Even this term we have seen. We have seen that while we are considering a stationary waves, these are standing waves, right? So motion is not there. So what will happen to the velocity? The waves are traveling like this, and again it comes back to the original position. So it constrained to be in a specific direction. So it move actually, but it is a specified movement, right? So what happens to the energy? Does it transfer from one to another? So it was all there in the properties of stationary waves, so that we already have studied. Okay, so we are going to study today is nothing but free and force vibrations. So here are the points that we are going to learn today. The first point which is there, which we are going to learn, is this: free and force vibration is the first point that we are going to see. What is free and what is force and vibrations? As you all know, what are the vibrations? Vibrations mean it vibrates, right? When we consider wave, the particles inside waves always vibrates, and depending on their vibrations, we got two types of waves, right? First one is longitudinal and second one is transverse. So you already know what is meaning of vibrations over there. So just we are going to see two types of that, which is free and force. Okay, then afterwards we are going to see harmonics and overtones. So what is harmonics and what is overtone? That concept will be cleared by the point number 3, which is end correction. So these all are interrelated with each other. So if you come to know what is free and force vibrations, you will definitely come to know what is harmonics, and then you will come to know what is overtones. And after knowing all these 4 points, you will exactly come to know the idea about end correction. So now I just wanted to let you know that while we are studying such kind of vibrations or such kind of things which are there in front of you, we have already done experiments on this. Actually we haven't done. So while we are entering into the practical hall, or we can say laboratory, when you are entering into lab, we are going to start the experiments, right? So there is one of the experiment which is application of this, which is harmonics and overtones, end correction, that all are there in your practical knowledge. Okay, so it will be very easier while you are studying the practicals also. So they are interrelated to each other. All right, so let's quickly move towards the next slide, which will give you the idea about this all points. Okay, so I'm going to explain all of this here. Before moving towards the free and force vibration, you have to know the concept which is being known as natural frequency. Okay, so what is natural frequency? The word itself says it is natural. Okay, so the frequency at which any object is tend to move. Now what is meaning of that? Consider an example of simple pendulum. If simple pendulum, as you know, there is a rigid support, string is attached to it, bob is there. If I am moving that bob and release that bob, it will oscillate by its own. Only one time I am going to give that bob force, right? That was the external force, but only one time I am giving that force, and it continues to move by its own. So the force which is applied at the first, and it tend to vibrate by its own, it is nothing but the natural frequency which is given to the simple pendulum. It was the natural frequency. Or we can consider the example of guitar. If you plug a guitar, what will happen? The string will vibrate. Or right now we have seen in the last part that if the string is attached to the both ends and I plug that string at midway, what will happen? It will create a wave, and the wave, it starts, the particle which is there on the string will vibrate, right? So that was the natural frequency. If I disturb anything and it oscillates, or not oscillate, it vibrates, that is being nothing but the natural frequency. Okay, in these vibrations, what happens if we are going to apply any force? The object is not under the influence of that. Okay, the object is not under the influence of outside force after natural frequency. Okay, so this is the main thing you have to know while you are moving forward for free and force vibrations. What is natural frequency? The frequency at which object is tend to vibrate when it hit. Okay, or when it is somehow disturbed by plugging, by removing, that will give you the vibrations, and that is nothing but the natural frequency. Okay, so this is all about the natural frequency. I hope you got this concept, what is natural frequency. Let's move towards the next topic, which is free vibrations. Okay, so what is free vibrations over here? So see, there is no need that you have to read all these things which is there on the slide. Just listen to me. I am just giving explanation of all these points. If my window of the camera is not showing you the all things which are there on the slide, just ignore. I will just going to tell you what is there on this. Okay, so don't worry if you are not able to read the things which is there besides the window of camera. Okay, so remember and just concentrate on whatever I am telling to you right now. Okay, okay, so let's move towards our point, which is free vibrations. So as the word says, vibrations, and it is attached to the free. So in this type of vibrations, if I am giving a external force only once and the object moves by its own. It doesn't require another external force to apply on it. And what will happen over there then? Suppose we are considering again the same example, which is simple pendulum. If the simple pendulum is given motion only by once, so I am releasing that pendulum, I am releasing that sphere or bob. So what will happen? It will oscillate by its own, it vibrates by its own, it will create amplitude, the energy. What happens to that energy? I am not giving force again, I have given force only once and it is vibrating by its own. So what will happen to the amplitude and what will happen to the energy of that pendulum? That is the question. So the answer is, when we are applying force only once and when the body is vibrating, so the energy will goes on decreases. Okay, so after some time it will comes to the rest, because we have given only once, the force is given only once, we are not applying force again and again. If we are applying force again and again, what will happen? It will continue to be in its motion, right? But we are not going to do that. So the energy will goes on decreasing and the simple pendulum will comes to rest after some time. But what happens to the amplitude? Amplitude will also goes on decreases. So this is what happened in case of free vibrations. So the body at first given the initial displacement and the forces then withdraw, then the body starts vibrating and continues the motion on its own. This is what I have discussed. No external force act on the body after the body is moving, right? So free vibrations means that the system vibrates at its natural frequency, correct, right? What we are going to do is we are going to apply force only once, so it is vibrating with natural frequency. We are not forcing any external type of force, so it will vibrates with natural frequency. So this is what nothing but free vibration. Okay, so as we have already discussed, what happens to the energy? Energy will goes on decreases. But why is it decreases? It is due to frictional resistance of the surrounding medium, right? Then what happens to the amplitude? Even this point also we have discussed. Amplitude of vibrations goes on decreases. Why? Because as we said, the energy goes on decreases, so it vibrates. First of all, it will vibrate like this, after some time like this, after some time this, and after some time it will stay focused at only one point, it will be at rest. Okay, so this is nothing but the force vibration. An example of it is nothing but what example we have given? Simple pendulum was the example of the same. So here you can see two examples are given. First example is actually a tuning fork. I don't remember that you have seen this kind of apparatus in lab or not, but this is nothing but the apparatus which is known as the first one. It is known as tuning fork, which is used to vibrate. Obviously you can see, if I strike the two knobs on surface, it will vibrate and it gives you vibrations. Okay, so this is we are going to use in many experiments. So it gives you vibrations, and only once you are going to stuck that, and it vibrates continuously until its energy decreases and it comes to rest after some time. Even the second one, which is simple pendulum that I have told you, it will vibrate like this and after some time it will comes to rest. This is free vibrations. Only once we are giving the force to both of them, only once we have given the force. Okay, so I hope you have come to know about the free vibrations which is there over there. Okay, so let's move towards the next point, which is force vibrations. It is exactly opposite to the free vibrations. What we have discussed in free vibrations, that we are going to give force only once and the object is moving by its own. Amplitude goes on decreases and energy got loses. So this is all we have seen in free vibrations. But what happens to force? Forced is the word which is attached to the vibrations. So when the energy is coming to decreases, we again going to apply force to it. External force we are going to apply, so again it will move with the same force. All right, so we have to apply force which should be greater than the natural frequency. All right, so then only it will vibrate with the maximum amplitude. Okay, if the force which is applied, which is externally force which is applied, if it is very less than the natural frequency, then what will happen? Do the particle or do the object will vibrate? No, it will not vibrate as before. Okay, let me clear again. What is force vibration? In force vibration, we are going to apply force again and again. Like we can consider example of swing. If any one of us is seated on the swing, and if we wanted to get a swing, right, what we are going to do is we will apply force by our legs, and then we move forward and come back. After knowing that the swing is going to decreases, we again push legs, and we again comes to the highest point. So this is nothing but the force vibration. This is the example for force vibrations. Okay, so what we are doing there, we are doing that external force is applied many times. Okay, so this is forced vibrations. So what will happen over there exactly? Let's see that. An external periodic force is applied on a body whose natural period is different from the period of force. Okay, second, the body is made to vibrate with the frequency equal to that of the external impressed force. Just take in mind the example of swing. Okay, जसं मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं की झोक्याचं उदाहरण फक्त डोक्यात ठेवा. तुम्ही जर का झोक्यावर बसलेले आहात, झोक्यावर बसलेले असताना आपण मागे आल्यानंतर पुन्हा पायाने पुश करतो आणि पुन्हा झोका पुढे जातो. अगेन इट कम्स बॅक. ज्या वेळेला आपल्याला लक्षात येतं की आपल्याला फोर्स कमी पडतोय, आपण पुन्हा एकदा पायाने प्रेशर देतो फ्लोअरवरती, आणि अगेन वी गोज टू द हायेस्ट पॉईंट. सो झोका, ओके, स्विंगवरती हे करणं, स्विंगवरती बसणं, आणि दॅट द ॲक्टिव्हिटी विच इज देअर इज नथिंग बट द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ फोर्स व्हायब्रेशन. एवढंच डोक्यात ठेवायचं. फ्री व्हायब्रेशनसाठी काय एक्झाम्पल लक्षात ठेवायचं तुम्हाला? एक तर ट्युनिंग फोर्क आणि सिम्पल पेंड्युलम. एक्झाम्पल डोक्यात राहिले, ॲप्लिकेशन्स, की त्याची थिअरी आपोआप तुमच्या लक्षात येणार आहे. सो ट्राय टू फोकस ऑन द एक्झाम्पल, ट्राय टू फोकस ऑन द ॲप्लिकेशन्स, सो दॅट यू विल कम टू नो द आयडिया बिहाइंड दॅट. ओके, सो मग आता व्हॉट विल हॅपन टू द ॲम्प्लिट्यूड ऑफ फोर्स व्हायब्रेशन्स? ती कशावर डिपेंड असणार आहे? इट विल डिपेंड ऑन द एक्सटर्नल फोर्स विच इज अप्लाइड. जे मी बोलले तुम्हाला आता, फोर्स अप्लाय केलेलं नॅचरल फ्रिक्वेन्सीपेक्षा जास्त असेल तर ॲम्प्लिट्यूड वाढेल. जर का फोर्स अप्लाय केलेलं नॅचरल फ्रिक्वेन्सीपेक्षा कमी असेल तर ॲम्प्लिट्यूड कमी होणार आहे. तुम्ही कमी फोर्स अप्लाय केलं एक्सटर्नली तर झोका कमी पुढे जाईल. Right, so it depends on external, or you can say the difference between natural frequency and external force. So it depends on that. Okay, so this is what nothing but the force vibrations. So here you can see. Now here is the example in which we have considered two pendulums, and actually they are not attached to each other. I just didn't got the image what was in my mind. I just got this kind of image in which these two are attached to each other, but they just keep in mind if the both bobs are not attached to each other. One is having mass m1, second one is having mass m2, and if I push the first one and I release that, this is at steady position. This is A, this is B. Okay, this is having mass m2 and this is having mass m1. Consider that. And these are a simple pendulum, these are the spheres. Then if I move this sphere in this direction and I relieve that, if the mass of this bob or mass of this sphere is greater than this, what will happen? It will push this, and even this will move like that, right? And it will comes to rest, because this have given the energy to another, and this another one is moving right now. This is comes in the vibrations. But what will happen if the mass of this sphere is lesser than this? What will happen if I stretch this and if I relieve this on this, as this is smallest and this is biggest? What will happen? it will collide to this and it will try to vibrate like by its own. So it will again depend on the mass. Okay, so if the such kind of example comes, we can say this is a couple pendulum. This concept is known as couple pendulum. Even if we attached a spring in between them, it is known as couple oscillator. On what factor it was depending? If I am giving vibrations to one of them, it will collide to another one and it will transfer the energy to the second one, and then second one will comes into the position of vibrations. But now the second term is, what happens if the natural frequency and the external force or the external frequency matches with each other? If they both becomes equal, what will happen over there? The new phenomena occurs over there, and the phenomena is known as resonance. Okay, so you have to keep in mind what is resonance. If natural frequency and artificial frequency, or we can say the external force which is being applied to that object, when they both becomes equal, the concept which arises is known as resonance. So we call it at resonance, and at resonance amplitude is at its maximum. So when the amplitude becomes maximum, it maximum at resonance. And what is resonance? When natural and artificial frequencies got same of each other, at that point we got resonance. Okay, so I hope even you got the second concept, which is force vibrations. Okay, so what will be the difference? Basically, what kind of questions can be asked on this topic? They can ask you like distinguish between free and force vibrations. It may be of 2 marks or 3 marks. If you are having it for 2 marks, you can write 2 points. If it is there for 3 marks, you can write 3 points. What will be there? First you have to write the definition of free and then definition of force. That will be the first distinguish between both of them. You can write the second point as what happens to the amplitude. You can write that. What happens to the energy? You can write that. So in this way you can distinguish between free and force vibrations, and even you can write the examples of the both. Okay, so this is it for free and force vibrations. So here is the another concept in which we are going to study about harmonics and overtones. So as the word itself says, overtone, so it will be the tone which is over to 1. It should be the integral multiple. So let's see what is the exact meaning of harmonics and overtones. So basically the definition of this is, or we cannot say the definition, we can say the what is the concept. So as right now we have seen the natural frequencies and the minimum frequency. So the minimum frequency of any object is nothing but the fundamental frequency. Okay, so that is known as first harmonic. Okay, what is first harmonic? The minimum frequency is known as fundamental frequency and it is being known as first harmonic. Okay, and the corresponding modes of oscillation, how it is oscillating. So the corresponding modes are known as fundamental modes or tone, that is fundamental tones. Again I am repeating, the fundamental frequency which is minimum frequency is known as harmonic, first harmonic. Then what is modes? The modes of oscillations is known as fundamental mode or fundamental tone. The term overtone is used to represent the higher frequencies. As I told you, what is overtone? It will be the greater than the initial one, then the second one will be greater than the previous one. So it will be integral multiple like 1, 2, 3, 4. Every number is greater than the previous number, right? So these are nothing but the overtones. Alright, so the term overtone is used to represent the higher frequencies. Okay, so the first frequency higher than first or the first frequency which is higher than fundamental is called as first overtone. Okay, if it is confusing, let me know you again. Fundamental frequency is known as first harmonic. It is fundamental, right? Greater than that will be first overtone. Greater than that will be second overtone. Greater than that will be third overtone, fourth overtone, fifth overtone. Okay, fundamental is nothing but harmonic, first harmonic. Okay, and this is the greater than that will be first overtone and second harmonic, because this is fundamental is first harmonic. So what will be the next one? It will be the second harmonic. This will be the third harmonic. This will be the fourth harmonic, fifth harmonic, sixth harmonic. And in case of overtone, this is fundamental, that means first harmonic. So this is, if this is first one, this is first overtone, second harmonic, second overtone, third harmonic, third overtone, fourth harmonic, fourth overtone, fifth harmonic. Okay, did you got this? Fundamental is harmonic, first harmonic, next to it is first overtone and second harmonic. So it goes and increases. Okay, so harmonic is used when the frequency of particular overtone is integral multiple. When it continues to increases, it is integral multiple of another one. Just like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every number is greater than the previous number by 1. So this can be considered as harmonic and overtones. Okay, so this is what nothing but about harmonic and overtone. To know more about it, there is another concept which is end correction. So here it is. So actually the end correction actually is nothing but the practical knowledge. So I just wanted to tell you that just it is given over there, the pipe closed at one end. So if we are considering a pipe which is closed at one end, okay, and this is the pipe, and the tuning fork which is I have shown you in the previous slide. So I am going to strike that tuning fork and giving vibrations to the open end of the pipe. What will happen over there when I am giving vibrations at the open end of the pipe? The vibrations will transfer to the pipe, right? It will goes at the end and it will again reflect back. So what will happen in that case? So there exists a wave, and that wave is longitudinal wave. Okay, so the vibrations will be there inside the pipe, inside the air column we can say, because there is only air column, nothing is there inside the pipe. So there should be some boundary condition. By that boundary condition, as we said, that when the amplitude will be maximum, when the amplitude will be minimum, what you can observe in case of that, if the pipe is there, if I am giving vibrations by tuning fork and the vibrations are going inside the pipe, when you will get maximum amplitude and when you will get the minimum amplitude? Does it at the end which is closed, what will be the amplitude over that? Obviously it will be minimum. So node will be created at the end of the pipe. Why is it so? Because there is no space to move, right? So while we are considering at the open end, there is more space to move, so that there exists maximum amplitude, and maximum amplitude means antinodes. So always antinodes at open end and nodes at close end are created. Now what happened to the antinode? As I told you, there is open end and we are creating force to it. So does it happen exactly at the open end? No, as there is a air column and it should be, suppose this is the open end and I am vibrating over here. So does it will be directly goes to the pipe? No, some vibrations will goes to the atmosphere. So what can we do for that? So that concept is known as end correction. So actually nodes or antinodes, whatever is forming over there, is not exactly at the open end, right? So it goes in the atmosphere also. So this is being corrected by one of the scientists and it is known as end correction. Alright, so here you can see the distance between open end of the pipe and the position of antinode is called end correction. As I told you, the distance between the open end of the pipe and position of antinode, we are not having any kind of idea where the antinode is producing, because we are just giving vibrations by tuning fork, right? So we can hear the sound only as it is in pipe. So the distance between open end and the position of antinode is end correction. Now, according to Reynolds is the name of scientist who gives this idea to us. So according to Reynolds, to the first approximation, the end correction at end is given by small e is equal to 0.3 into d. Now what is d over there? If I am considering a pipe, so diameter of that pipe is nothing but d, and it should be multiplied by 0.3, and then you will get some number that is nothing but end correction. So while you are performing such kind of experiments, you have to consider end correction. So one of the experiment, which is resonance tube, the experiment of resonance tube, in which we are going to find out the velocity of sound in air. This is what we are going to find out by using such kind of experiments. Velocity of sound in air, what it does, how it is, so that we are going to find out by using the same. If you are not getting this concept, don't worry, we are going to perform this in laboratory. Okay, we have the experiment of resonance tube. Okay, so what happens in case of when the pipe is closed at one end and when the pipe is open at both the ends? What will happen to that? Okay, so the first is closed at one end, so the length will be L is equal to small l plus e. Now what will be small l and what is capital L again? Okay, so as I told you, pipe is there, it is closed at one end, open at another end. I am giving vibrations, right? So I am going to measure the length. Okay, so this is nothing but the about length, and plus e, which is 0.3 into d, will be the closed at one end, and when the pipe is open at both the ends, length is given over here. You can see when it is open at both ends, L plus small l plus 2e, and when it is closed at one end, it is L plus small a. So this is what we are going to use, okay, in case of experiments. All right, so this is what we have done in today's session. What we have learned in today's lecture, we have seen free vibrations, force vibrations, and after doing that we have seen harmonics and overtones, and then to know more about it, we have come to the another point, which is end correction, which is there in front of you. Okay, so this is all about today's lecture. If you have any kind of query regarding this, please do comment. I will solve your query. Okay, thank you so much.